Do you feel trapped in situations where your decisions don't seem to be yours? Do you feel like you often give in to pressure from others? Manipulation is like a game of emotional chess. Manipulators use a variety of tactics to control our reactions and get what they want. Manipulation is a reality in our lives, but you don't have to be a victim. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers us powerful tools to strengthen our minds and resist these influences. Think of yourself. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of a crowded square. You are a tiny dot in an ocean of people. Each face around you is an island, an entire world with its own storms and its own sunrises. Some smile, some frown, but they all hold secrets you'll never know. In the tumult of opinions that characterizes a crowd, voices seeking to dominate and control can be deafening. In this chaos of opinions, it is difficult to discern truth from falsehood, and those who seek to manipulate take advantage of this confusion to impose their own interests. It's easy to get lost in the tide of information and persuasion, where those who yearn to manipulate strive to impose their worldview. That's when you ask yourself, how can I protect my own path while remaining true to myself? In this journey, we will explore 7 powerful Stoic lessons that will equip you to face external pressures and preserve your authenticity. We will learn how to cultivate an inner strength that allows us to navigate the challenges of a world that constantly tries to shape our decisions and beliefs by testing our limits and values. These ancient teachings, like stars that guide navigators, offer us perennial wisdom. By exploring these principles through everyday situations, we will establish deep connections that will allow us to apply them to our lives and grow in wisdom. Let us embark together on this journey full of clarity and strength in our search for authenticity. Sasmada 1. Accept what you can control. Life presents us with a series of unavoidable obstacles. However, Stoic philosophy invites us to understand that our strength lies not in modifying the environment that surrounds us, but in cultivating internal mastery. By honing our ability to respond calmly and rationally to any adversity, we strengthen our resilience and find lasting peace. Challenges are a constant in human existence. Stoic philosophy reminds us that our power lies in what we can control, our own reactions. Instead of fighting the inevitable, the Stoics proposed concentrating on cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, and justice, which allow us to face any situation with equanimity and strength. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, sums up this wisdom succinctly. You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find strength in it. The concept is central to Stoic thought and serves as a guiding principle for navigating manipulation and adversity in our everyday lives. Modern life immerses us in a sea of expectations and external demands, coming from our personal, professional, and social relationships. This constant pressure can create a feeling of being overwhelmed and manipulated, where we feel swept along by the currents and deprived of our own agency. For example, consider the modern workplace where office politics and manipulative colleagues can create a storm of stress. Imagine a scenario where a co-worker tries to undermine your efforts by spreading rumors or taking credit for your work. Such behavior can be discouraging and frustrating. However, the Stoic approach encourages focusing not on changing your co-workers' actions, but on how to respond to them. Focusing on your own work, behavior, and choices preserves your peace of mind and maintains your integrity. This doesn't mean ignoring the situation, but rather responding to it in a way that aligns with your values. For example, if you are faced with unfair situations, instead of reacting with anger or becoming defensive, you can choose to approach the problem calmly, seek constructive feedback, or simply focus on improving your work. This approach not only helps you maintain your composure, but also minimizes the manipulative influence others might have on you. Kester's experience in her previous job highlights this principle. She was frequently undermined by a colleague who would take credit for her contributions. Instead of getting caught up in the office drama or retaliating, she decided to focus on herself. His work maintained a high level of professionalism, and in doing so, he not only preserved his self-esteem, but also earned the respect of his peers and supervisors. His dedication to focusing on what he could control allowed him to thrive despite the challenging environment. The lesson here is clear: by focusing on what is under your control, your actions, your thoughts, and your reactions, you have empowered yourself to face challenges with resilience and clarity. This Stoic practice helps you avoid being manipulated by external factors and circumstances and strengthens your ability to remain true to your principles. 2. Recognize and reject false appearances. Stoic teachings teach us that our experience of the world is not a passive reflection of reality, but an active construction of our mind. Our perceptions and judgments significantly influence our experiences. Our perceptions, colored by our prior judgments and beliefs, function as a filter that colors the reality we experience. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, offers profound insight. It is not events that disturb people, but their judgments about events. This principle underscores the importance of distinguishing between surface appearances and underlying realities. In a world where manipulators often rely on charm, persuasion, and illusion, the ability to discern the truth becomes crucial. Consider a situation where a charismatic leader or influential figure makes grandiose promises or presents an overly polished image. The attractiveness of their persona may initially captivate you by drawing you into their narrative. However, the Stoic approach encourages a critical examination of these appearances. Rather than being swayed by superficial charm or appealing rhetoric, take the time to investigate the substance behind the promises. For example, you might encounter a salesperson who uses persuasive techniques to sell a product or service by presenting it as the ultimate solution to all your problems. While his speech may be compelling, applying Stoic wisdom means questioning the validity of his claims by looking beyond the surface and examining the true nature of the situation. Are their promises realistic, and what evidence supports their claims? Protect yourself from being scammed. Richard's experience with a high-value investment opportunity serves as a practical illustration of this principle. The investment was presented with attractive promises of quick returns. Despite the initial appeal, Richard decided to do extensive research and seek advice from trusted financial experts. The investigation revealed inconsistencies and potential risks that the seller had overlooked. By recognizing and rejecting the false appearances, Richard avoided a potentially costly mistake and preserved his financial well-being. Understanding that appearances can be deceiving allows you to make informed decisions and resist manipulation. By questioning superficial charm and delving into the substance of certain situations, you protect yourself from being easily influenced or deceived. This Stoic practice not only improves your decision-making, but also fosters a deeper understanding of the true nature of the world around you. Recognizing and rejecting false appearances is a powerful tool for navigating manipulation. By applying Stoic principles to assess the reality behind the facade, you maintain clarity and integrity in your interactions. This approach helps you resist the lure of deception and make decisions based on truth rather than illusion. 3. Cultivate inner strength. Stoicism teaches us to forge an indomitable spirit, to be like an unbreakable rock in the face of life's storms. By cultivating inner strength, we become self-sufficient, able to find peace and serenity even in the most difficult moments, without depending on external factors for our happiness. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, sums up this concept with the statement that a man is as good as his character. This idea emphasizes that true strength comes from within, rooted in one's own character and values rather than external factors. Cultivating inner strength is forging an unbreakable core, a solid identity that resists the onslaught of adversity and external influences. It is developing the ability to navigate life's ups and downs with unwavering self-confidence, free from the need for external validation. It involves developing a strong sense of self that is impervious to the whims of fortune and the manipulative tactics of others. In practice, this means adopting a mindset that allows you to handle adversity with grace and resilience. By grounding yourself in your core values and principles, you create a buffer against others' attempts to influence or manipulate. Consider the scenario of facing constant criticism from a superior at work. Such a situation can be discouraging and may lead you to question your own abilities or worth. However, the Stoic approach encourages you to look inward and focus on your own standards and principles. By doing so, you resist the temptation to let outside opinions dictate your sense of self-worth. Mary, a dedicated employee, was frequently criticized by her manager, who seemed determined to undermine her contributions. Instead of internalizing negative feedback or responding defensively, Mary decided to focus on her commitment to excellence and her personal values. He continued to perform his duties with integrity and eventually earned recognition from his superiors who valued his dedication and professionalism. Emma's inner strength not only helped her endure the challenging environment, it also allowed her to emerge stronger and more respected in her field. Cultivating inner strength requires ongoing effort and self-reflection. It involves understanding your core values, setting personal standards, and developing a mindset that stands strong regardless of external pressures. By developing this inner strength, you arm yourself against manipulation and ensure that your actions are guided by your own principles and not the influence of others. It involves building a solid sense of self, capable of withstanding external pressures and life's challenges. It is cultivating an unwavering authenticity, an unwavering confidence in your abilities, and a resilience that allows you to overcome any obstacle. 4. Understand the nature of the human being. Exploiting the desires of others is a form of psychological manipulation that can have devastating consequences for victims. By manipulating the emotions and expectations of others, manipulators erode their self-esteem and self-confidence. Victims may come to believe that they are not capable of achieving their goals on their own and that they need the constant approval and support of their manipulators. This codependent dynamic perpetuates the cycle of abuse and makes it difficult for victims to break free from their captors. Here, Stoicism offers deep insight into the nature of human desires and their potential to influence our decisions. Let's take a deep look at our deepest desires. It shows us how they can manipulate our decisions and ultimately determine our happiness or suffering. By understanding the nature of our desires, we can learn to manage them more effectively and free ourselves from the attempts of manipulators. Marcus Aurelius observed that the universe is a change, life is an opinion. This observation highlights that our desires are often fleeting and subject to change. By understanding this, you gain the perspective needed to navigate situations where others might exploit these manipulative desires. Human desires are powerful forces that can lead us astray if not managed properly. Human desires are like mighty rivers. They can nourish us and lead us to prosperity, but they can also overflow and wreak havoc on our lives if we do not channel them wisely. They are internal forces so powerful that if left unchecked, they can become our worst enemies, leading us toward impulsive decisions and negative consequences. Manipulators often exploit these desires by promising satisfaction or gratification in exchange for compliance or concessions, whether in personal relationships or professional settings. They employ cunning tactics to bend the will of others. By promising rewards or gratifications, manipulators create an illusion of future satisfaction that entices their targets to comply with their demands. No matter how disproportionate or unfair they may seem, this reward dynamic conditions people to give in to their desires, establishing a pattern of dependence and control. Recognizing the transitory nature of desires helps us resist such manipulative tactics. For example, consider a salesperson who tries to entice you to buy an expensive product by appealing to your desire for status or luxury. He or she may highlight the exclusivity of the product and the prestige associated with owning it. In manipulative relationships, the promise of satisfaction becomes a bargaining chip. Manipulators use this strategy to build a bond of emotional or professional dependence with their victims. By implying that only they can provide what the other person craves, manipulators position themselves as indispensable figures and exert disproportionate control over their decisions. This unequal power dynamic undermines victims' autonomy and makes them vulnerable to exploitation. However, the Stoic approach encourages you to reflect on the fleeting nature of the gratification of these desires. It is worth focusing on long-term values and goals rather than immediate and frugal pleasures. You can make more balanced choices. James faced a situation where a business partner offered him a lucrative deal that seemed too good to be true. The deal was framed in terms of quick riches and status, appealing to James's desire for success. However, James practiced Stoic wisdom by examining the deal critically and considering its long-term implications. Their evaluation revealed potential risks and ethical concerns that overshadowed the immediate benefits. Understanding the nature of his desires and prioritizing his values, James decided to decline the offer while preserving his long-term integrity and well-being. Understanding the nature of human desires involves recognizing that these impulses are often temporary and influenced by external factors. By adopting a Stoic perspective, you can view desires with a sense of detachment and make decisions based on what truly aligns with your values and long-term goals. This approach helps you more effectively navigate manipulation and maintain a sense of purpose and integrity in your choices. Stoic teachings on desires offer valuable guidance for resisting manipulation. By understanding the transitory nature of desires and focusing on your core values, you will make decisions that are more reflective of your true self. Instead of being swayed by fleeting temptations, it allows you to face challenges with greater clarity and resilience. Practice emotional detachment. Stoic philosophy invites us to cultivate the ability to be impartial observers of our emotions. Rather than letting ourselves get carried away by them, the practice of emotional detachment involves looking at our feelings from a more objective perspective, as if they were passing clouds in the sky of our mind. Epictetus, one of the central figures of Stoic philosophy, said that what matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. This principle encourages us to maintain a sense of inner calm regardless of external circumstances. By mastering our emotional responses, we can navigate manipulative situations with clarity and resolve. Consider the life of Nelson Mandela, whose emotional resilience and detachment were central to his long life. Mandela endured 27 years of imprisonment in harsh conditions, but managed to maintain his sense of purpose and composure. His ability to separate his emotional responses from the injustice he faced allowed him to leave prison with a vision of reconciliation rather than revenge. Mandela's practice of emotional detachment enabled him to lead South Africa toward a peaceful transition from apartheid. Emotional detachment does not mean denying or repressing our emotions. On the contrary, it invites us to fully recognize and accept the feelings that arise, whether they are joy, sadness, anger, or anything else. The key is to observe these emotions without allowing them to take hold of us and control us. It is like watching a movie where we are spectators of our own emotions without letting ourselves be carried away by them. For example, when life presents us with challenges such as betrayal or a setback, Stoic philosophy teaches us to accept our initial emotional reactions, anger, disappointment, frustration, without letting them dominate us. Instead of allowing these emotions to cloud our judgment, we should strive to maintain mental clarity and make rational decisions based on what is truly within our control. This perspective helps you respond to challenges with a clear mind, making decisions based on rationality rather than emotional reactivity. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple Inc., demonstrated emotional detachment in his leadership style despite facing numerous setbacks, including his ouster from Apple in 1985. His work remained focused on his vision. Emotional detachment from immediate setbacks allowed him to return to Apple years later and propel the company to unprecedented success. Jobs' ability to manage his emotions and maintain his focus on long-term goals played a crucial role in his eventual success. Practicing emotional detachment involves developing an awareness of your emotions and using that awareness to guide your responses by maintaining a stable inner attitude. Emotional detachment empowers us to make decisions based on reason and not impulsive emotion. By observing our feelings without judgment, we can identify the emotional patterns that lead us to act in certain ways. This allows us to consciously choose our actions rather than being carried away by emotional impulses that could harm us in the long run. It indicates that in the midst of external turmoil, you protect yourself from manipulation and maintain your integrity. 6. Embrace the present moment. The Stoic emphasis on living in the present moment is summed up in Marcus Aurelius's observation: the only moment you should be concerned with is now. Living in the now frees us from the emotional burden that comes with clinging to past experiences or worrying excessively about what has not yet happened. By focusing on the present, we find peace of mind and fully appreciate each moment. By focusing our attention on the here and now, we experience a greater sense of well-being and connection with ourselves and the world around us. The past and future have their place, but it is in the present that we truly live. By focusing on the present, we avoid getting lost in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. This practice helps us approach manipulative situations with a clear and solid mindset. Take, for example, the life of Viktor Frankl, the renowned psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. In his work Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl describes how he found deep purpose and resilience by focusing on the present moment, even in the most dire circumstances. Frankl's ability to embrace the present helped him endure the horrors of the concentration camps and ultimately contribute to the field of psychology with his insights into meaning and suffering. Embracing the present moment means approaching manipulative situations with awareness of current reality, rather than being distracted by past grievances or future uncertainties. For example, if someone tries to manipulate you by creating a sense of urgency or fear about future outcomes, the Stoic approach involves focusing on what you can control in the present and making decisions based on current evidence and facts. Oprah Winfrey, a prominent media executive and philanthropist, exemplifies this principle through her approach to her career and personal growth. Throughout her career, Winfrey has faced numerous challenges and setbacks, but she has consistently focused on the present moment by using her experiences to fuel her work and philanthropic efforts. Her ability to embrace the present has been critical to her success and continued impact. Embracing the present moment involves cultivating mindfulness and awareness that allows you to respond to challenges with clarity and purpose. The present is like a gift, a unique opportunity that is offered to us every day. If we lose ourselves in regrets about the past or worries about the future, we run the risk of wasting this precious moment. By focusing on the here and now, you mitigate the influence of manipulation and make decisions that align with your values and goals. Seek wisdom and guidance. The Stoic emphasis on seeking wisdom is reflected in Seneca's statement that wisdom involves not only acquiring knowledge, but also seeking guidance from those who possess experience and insight. By surrounding ourselves with wise people who have walked similar paths to ours, we acquire an invaluable compass to navigate through life. Their experiences, like beacons in the night, light our way and teach us to identify the obstacles that could lead us astray. Through their guidance, we develop a keen critical sense that allows us to recognize manipulative tactics and resist their influences, thus strengthening our autonomy and personal empowerment. Consider the life of Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of the United States. Franklin was known for his pursuit of knowledge and wisdom, which he sought through extensive reading, experimentation, and dialogue with other intellectuals. His dedication to self-improvement and learning allowed him to navigate complex political and social landscapes with insight and effectiveness. To navigate manipulative situations, seeking wisdom involves consulting trusted advisors, studying philosophical teachings, and reflecting on past experiences. For example, if you are faced with a decision that involves potential manipulation, seeking the advice of a mentor or engaging in reflective thinking can provide you with clarity and help you make a more informed decision. Warren Buffett, an American businessman who is considered one of the world's greatest investors, as well as being the largest shareholder, chairman, and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, illustrates the value of seeking wisdom and guidance when investing in business. Buffett regularly consults with other investors, reads extensively, and reflects on his own experiences to guide his decisions. Her emphasis on continuous learning and seeking advice has been a key factor in her long-term success and resilience in the financial world. Seeking wisdom involves actively seeking knowledge and guidance for decision-making and action. Relying on the knowledge of experienced mentors and engaging in lifelong learning improves your ability to navigate manipulative situations with confidence and integrity. The Stoic principles of emotional detachment, embracing the present moment, and seeking wisdom offer valuable tools for resisting manipulation and maintaining your integrity. By applying these principles, you empower yourself to make decisions based on clarity, resilience, and informed judgment as you navigate the complexities of life. The lessons of Stoic philosophy offer us a compass to navigate through the storm by embracing what we can control. The Stoics teach us that true strength lies in our mind. By cultivating Stoic virtues, we can develop emotional resilience and mental clarity that protect us from manipulation. By recognizing false appearances, cultivating inner strength, understanding desires, practicing emotional detachment, embracing the present moment and seeking wisdom, we arm ourselves against manipulation and maintain our integrity. Reflect on these Stoic teachings and consider how they can apply to your own life. Embrace these principles and empower yourself to make choices that align with your true values and resist the forces that seek to influence or control you. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it is a way of life. By cultivating the Stoic virtues and applying these practical tools, we can free ourselves from the chains of manipulation and live a more authentic and fulfilling life. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Stoic wisdom. If you found these lessons useful, please give us a thumbs up. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Your reflections could provide valuable insights for others seeking to overcome the challenges of manipulation and stay true to themselves. I invite you to an upcoming meeting full of teachings and Stoic wisdom so that we can continue learning and growing together, guided by the hand of this timeless philosophy.